I've just finished a workout where I basically did 300 bodyweight squats in 3 sets. So 100, 100, 100. This was after I worked up to a top single today of 150 kilos. I'm buggered. It's a 5 a.m. session. I'll go through these 300 repetitions and I'm absolutely gutted. I remember back in the day when I played basketball in preseason have always been running the sand dunes, running sand on the beach. And I remember feeling that gutted feeling where you just want to vomit from just being absolutely exhausted from running on uneven ground, running up and down. Those are some memories I'll never forget, man. That was some of the hardest training I've ever done. Well, this is the feeling that I've got right now. I feel absolutely gutted. I think it's ironic as all hell, man, that, somebody that can squat 200 kilos, somebody that has pretty okay top-end strength, to be absolutely humbled but the most beginner of exercises there is, bodyweight squats. This is the stuff they teach, for people that have never seen the gym. For people that have never worked out, this is kind of where everyone starts. You do your bodyweight squats. If you can do, you do push-ups. If you can do it, you do pull-ups. And then progressions from there. And then eventually, when you're master that level, you go to a barbell and you start loading. Well, how many of us have started there once upon a time, maybe as kids or as adults? Doesn't really matter. We've progressed to the barbell stuff, and we've completely forgotten about the grassroots, the stuff that actually is lesson number one. It is humbling how effective calisthenics can be. I have these feelings sometimes where, I think to myself, man, you got to do the basics, man. Every time I think of the word basics, I think of this NBA player. For some of you guys that have watched the NBA, you'd know a player by the name of Tim Duncan. He was a power forward, arguably the best power forward to ever play the game. They used to call that guy Big Fundamental, because he was basically that. He wasn't this fancy dude, with fancy, footwork or dunks or whatever else. He would just score the ball using fundamental skills, and he would basically school everyone using the basic moves. Your drop sets, your turnaround, back somebody down, baby hook, your elbow shot. He used to do that, and he made a career of, it seems like, I think it was 20 years that he played, or 18 years, or something like this. Fundamentals should never be forgotten. I know it's not sexy to do bodyweight squats, and the bottom line is, man, I don't like these sessions, man. Like, this is soul zapping stuff. 300 reps in squats. It's what vomit is made of. Absolutely gutted, man. Absolutely gutted, and it just really, like I said, humbles you and makes you think, makes you question what you're doing. Bulgarian split squats, that's a very advanced exercise, for me at least. You're balancing on one leg, you got weight on your back, you're fighting all these different forces, left, right, and center. And I'm thinking to myself, why did I add weight? Why did I add weight to that exercise? For what reason? Doing 5 sets of 5. Why? Why not just go back to Bulgarian split squats the next day? I do these accessory lower body exercises. Why not next time I do just body weight? Do 100 reps. Instead of doing 5 by 5, do 5 by 20. What's more beneficial, 5 by 5 or 5 sets of 20? Especially for somebody that's not very good at the exercise. Just all these thoughts running through my head. I can't believe how gutted I am right now. I've said to you guys before, I've done workouts, strength workouts where, you work with 90% of 1 rep max, you do 10 sets of those, 85. I've done triples at, 10 triples at 80%. I've done all these type of exercises and nothing comes close to high repetitions. The first time I hit 200 kilos last year, whenever it was, September, that was on the back of doing the barbell for 50. That was on the back of me reading that book, Super Squats. Forget the author, always escapes me. Milk and Squats, right? If you guys are not familiar with this program, look it up, man. It's one of the oldest freaking programs out there for putting on mass, for putting on strength, and it's not, the work is not the hardest thing. It's the mental side of that particular program. You're supposed to eventually get to a 10 rep max Right, think about this. 10 rep max. Let's say you're supposed to start with this. You pick a weight that you can do 10 reps. That's your max, 10 rep max. And you do that for 20. Now, how does that work? Well, you do your 10, and then you continue standing there. You huff and puff. You breathe, and when you reckon you can go one more rep, you get one more rep. After that, you stand there. Continue standing there. At no point you're going to wreck this bar. You continue standing there. These freaking sets can sometimes last 5 minutes. Just the sheer weight on your back standing there for 5 minutes will wear you out. You just keep on standing there and you keep on praying to God and you keep on getting one more rep. And after that training session, you're supposed to do this 3 times a week with very, very minimal anything else, very minimal accessories. And then when you're not in the gym, you're supposed to drink something like half a gallon of milk or something crazy like this and just a stupid amount of calories. Because you won't survive this training program if you don't have like a crazy surplus, caloric surplus. Now, I've never done that program, like 100% done that program, but I've taken inspiration from that program during this Squat Everyday program. And I've kind of implemented it back then. And that all led to me squatting 200 kilos for the first time. So I ended up doing all sorts of stuff, man. I remember I was pushing, I got to, I think, 140 kilos for a set of 18. I think that was the best stuff that I got. And I started like at 100 kilos and I was adding like, I think, 5 kilos every other day until I got to 140 kilos. And I struggled there for a few weeks and I just basically got burnt out and I kind of left it at that. But I remember from that period, it was just gut-wrenching work. You hate life. I used to get nervous before those sets. Because basically leading up to that set, I know, man, I'm going to a Hurt Locker. I'm going to visit Mr. Pain here, man. This is going to be uncomfortable existence. So I used to get nervous before those sets, like nothing, man. You know, sometimes you get nervous for like attempting a run rep max. Obviously, you know, your nerves get up and about because you think to yourself, okay, I need to strain here. I need to like perfect the technique. You know, big breath, lock it in, think about your back, go down, push as hard as you can, push the world up. With these high rep sets, like, you know, milk and squats and doing 100 reps of body weight, you're there for a while, man. You're there for a while and you're continuously talking to yourself. There's a dialogue between you and your willpower. You're going to quit, you're going to be a little bitch, or you're going to continue. And I believe that these type of chats that you have with yourself is what grows you. It's what builds that mentality. There's nothing like pain to be a teacher, man. So even though like I've always kind of appreciated this type of workout, subconsciously I've always kind of weaseled out of it because I'm like, you know, who wants to work that hard? You know, I'm sure there's an easier way where you just come in and you touch your, you know, training max and then you do some accessories, 5x5. You know, that's short-lived stuff. You know, like, that's much better. I'm sure a lot of powerlifters, you know, if you're a powerlifter, you probably understand that the hardest thing about exercise is you know, endurance stuff, especially if you're used to, you know, training with 1 rep, you know, for most of your training, or, you know, nothing over 5. You know, a lot of you guys have said to me in the comments, everything over 5 is is cardio. And then you've got these freaking marathon runners who are there running for 3 hours, 2 hours. You know, think about the chat that these people are having with themselves. They're chatting to themselves. All right, one more hill, another 30 meters, another 40 meters. Let's get this hill. All these dudes that are running ultras, man. What the hell are they telling themselves, man? You know, the name that pops into my head right now is David Goggins, right? Man, if you've never heard some of his stories, man, this guy is like, I don't even know if he talks to himself. I don't think willpower is brave enough to even speak to this man. There's no conversation there, man. This guy's one-way street. The willpower is never going to touch him. So I've got a lot of respect for high repetitions. I think there's a lot of value. Right now, my legs are so freaking wasted, so pumped. No leg extensions, no Bulgarian split squats. Nothing comes close to the feeling that I get when I do these bodyweight squats. Absolutely gutted. So if you're listening to this and you're like, man, I want to try this, I think there's value in this, I would say maybe just do it once a week right now, because you're not gonna like your life if you're doing this every other day or twice a week. You know, one of you guys said for day 600, which is coming up in I think 8 days now, I should do 600 repetitions bodyweight squats, and I'm gonna do that. I'm going to try and do that. It's going to be one gut-wrenching workout, but I want to do that. Hopefully it falls on a day where I'm not working, because if I'm working, like if it's a 5 a.m. session, I'm going to be a sad sack. 600 repetitions, that's crazy. That reminds you of the great Gama and Mike Tyson, all these characters who have been apparently did all these bodyweight squats. I just can't help but think to myself, if I get good at these bodyweight squats, build that resilience. If my legs can have that endurance, man, what is going to feel like? I'm sure that can help me when I've got 80% on my back and I'm repping it out. I'm sure it will help. I'm sure there's benefit there. GPP goes a long way. Maybe this is what's happening here. I'm just building some GPP. Anyway, I'm so gutted right now. I'm so freaking exhausted. I'm gonna jump in the house in a minute. I'm gonna just shower and go to work. And I think today's gonna be a struggle, being 12 hours on my feet in ED. But I'm gonna try and consume as many freaking calories I can find in my way. I'm gonna try eat a big breakfast. Hopefully I've got time for that, and I'm just gonna vacuum everything in the fridge. Because after a session like this, man, absolutely gutted. So tomorrow I'm gonna come in here again and do the upper body stuff, the back stuff. By the way, man, I was expecting this because I kind of did a lot, but those barbell rows, single rows, dumbbell rows, and pull-ups, they've got my back absolutely sore right now. It's actually a really cool feeling. I've said this to you guys before. Out of all the muscles that I enjoy having sore, I think hamstrings is my favorite for some reason. I just enjoy having sore hamstrings. I feel like I've done something kind of good. I like the feeling, even though it's kind of the worst feeling. It's really, really sore. You can't really do anything with sore hamstrings, but I kind of like it. It's kind of the most rewarding. But I think the next thing would have to be back. I love having sore lats. I love having sore traps. It's just something about it. I don't know. I just enjoy having a sore posterior chain. I'm not one of those guys that enjoys having sore biceps or chest. Actually, that's probably the least favorite, having a sore chest. I don't know. Not that any pain is good pain. It's just my preference out of all of them. But yeah, sore back, and I feel because of all the pump that I have in my upper back, I feel like today when I was racking the bar, there was a bit more meat there. There's a bit of a better shelf. But all of this it's not for the squat, obviously. All of this is just leading up towards me seeing what kind of effects I have on the deadlift. So in the starting position, I hope to have sturdier back, and I hope I can kind of lean backwards a bit more, and use my quads a bit more. So I've been thinking about a whole lot about the deadlift. Although now, if I'm doing these bodyweight squats, I don't even know how I'm going to recover from this. Right now, I feel gutted, absolutely gutted. But maybe a lot of guys have said that bodyweight squats kind of have a quick turnaround. You feel gutted when you do them, but then the following day you kind of feel remarkably fresh, which is another thing. Some of you guys have said the same thing to me with inverted barbell rows. It's something about bodyweight stuff where it's so effective, it's so damn effective, but there's a quick recovery on it. Because maybe you can speculate, there's no axial loading, there's no nervous breakdown from that. But you can hit a lot of calisthenics and get a lot of freaking reps by doing this. It's just a really, really effective way of training. So maybe next time when I come in, I'll do pull-ups as number one, and then I'll do the barbell and the dumbbell rows, because I think pull-ups are great. Man, it's one of my favorite exercises, pull-ups. It just has been part of my routine. So this is 120 kilos bench. The Bilbo method stuff seems to be working. All these reps are making me feel strong. I dare say in a few weeks I'll be hitting 140 again for the first time in a while. I haven't really given bench press the attention that kind of required for some time. But all these repetitions kind of mimic me doing all those push-ups back in the day. That kind of led me to hitting 140 kilo bench press. So that's good. And then after that, I did 50 kilos on the bar for 40 reps. And then not tomorrow, but the next day will be 60 kilos for 30 reps. So, and then I'll reset, go back to empty bar, and keep doing that. That's how I accumulate the reps. But that's it. That's basically the workout. I'm absolutely spent. Bodyweight squats. I'm scared of you. If you guys haven't tried it, absolutely try it. Don't be fooled. Yeah, there's a lot of value there. Yes, it's cardio. Yes, it's cardio. But the bodybuilding of the quads, I think, is nothing comes close to it. All right, guys, I'm exhausted. Gonna jump in the shower now and go to work. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.